Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, chewing the jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut coke. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was sucking on your mama's tit.
Aries Spears don't give a
We talk about race a lot, racism.
sexism.
Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, clip loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
This Oh Steve comes to us from Gabatron 88. Yo, how about a quickie with Oh Steve? Oh Steve Family Feud episode. Lineup consists of Steve, Aries, Andy, the Cocksacker, and Gemma. Question for Andy. Who always comes first? Andy goes, Aries. The sucker. The in my mouth. Steve Harvey leans over to Gemma for a peck on the cheek while caressing her breasts while she's distracted. Steve. Gemma. Final chance. Yeah. Terrible. Your team needs this to make it in your final round. Who always comes first? As he steps back, Gemma notices a dark spot on his pants. Gemma. Oh, Steve. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that works. That's a sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Gabatron. We appreciate that. Gabatron 88.
I don't think I would have said dark. I would have said a wet spot on his pants, though.
What'd she say? The dark
A
spot.
dark spot. Yeah,
Black
I mean,
guy.
yeah. But still, it's wet, you know.
I know, but black guys come dark wetness. It just doesn't even make sense.
Why'd you get kicked out? I came in dark wetness.
Yeah, that almost sounds like a dark wetness.
Dark wetness, yeah.
Justin Pod Poppy. What up, guys? It's the local chubby Puerto Rican guy from the Bronx, a.k.a. Chicharron Poppy, back with another email. Well, guess Katt had a lot to say on the Uncle Shay podcast. I don't know, man. If Katt is spitting some, he's being delusional, or maybe he just need publicity for something. He got the internet going crazy with his views and his stories. Katt hasn't been that funny since 2005, and I miss that Katt, but guess that ship sailed long ago. So side, want to tell y'all what happened to me the other day. I went to see this joint for a quickie, so I pulled up, did my thing, and drove back home. It was like 2 a.m., and parking at that time sucks. So I had to park like 3 blocks from the crib. I was walking around this little industrial area, and while I was walking, I heard footsteps. In my head, I'm like, God, please not today. I was on guard and closed my fist just in case it was about to go off. Then I kept, and the footsteps would sound like they were closer. Then I heard the footsteps running, so I quickly turned around and got fist up, ready to up. But it was a Papa John's box flying or floating with the wind. Scared the shit out of me. Be grateful I'm alive. That's all, guys. Have a good one. P.S. Aries, you gotta telling the farts are like a dry rub, because it's got to start itching while it dries. Yeah, $10 a lot of money. You got to get the sentences together first before I start following your advice. Oh, man.
It was going good until then.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't have anything left for the Katt Williams saga. Yeah, it got the internet going crazy. It's a news cycle. Next.
But Katt put himself at the top of the news cycle. That's, you got to give him credit for that.
Okay.
You don't have to give him credit. You got to go. If that was the goal, then he did that.
Mission accomplished. Hola, Panchito. Hola, Panchito. Pancho Z. 2024 election. What's up, Spears and Steinberg? Hey, this upcoming election is going to be wild. Aries and Andy, do you have any jokes about the upcoming election? Also, Aries, would you rather be known as the greatest comedy writer of new TV shows and movies that will come out in the future, or would you rather be an actor and have zero say on what you can act in and can only read what is written on scripts and have zero creative control? Oof.
I know the answer for you on that one.
I mean, but damn. But I'm not. I don't want to be a comedy writer on a TV show.
No, but you definitely aren't going to let someone just do your stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
You'd
but
be
damn,
the most fired guy.
if I had to choose between them two, I'd rather the second one. To be a comedy writer on a TV show, it means I'm not. I'm not a writer like that. And then two, I want to be seen.
Wait, here I'm gonna do the thing that you're gonna hear on the set of every show that Aries is on. Aries, we really like the ad libs; they're good, and we're probably gonna use some of them. But if you could stick to what's on the paper, we'd really appreciate it. At least let's get that in, and then we can do the ad libs. Okay?
Mm.
Okay.
Hey, you. Alan Neal. First time again. A&A, yo, what's up, fellas? Hope you guys had a good holiday. Belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you both. Giving this another shot. I emailed before, but when you guys tried to read the email on the pod, the text wasn't showing up. Finally, all caught up on the pod. Attaboy. Sorry, Andy, had to do it Aries way and listen from the beginning. Good boy.
Yeah, you probably missed us when we came to your town.
I didn't cheat and look ahead to any episodes either. I just let it play from Ep 1, Ep 0, and go. It's better that way. It reads like a good book. It's you go, lad. Also, I think I've developed Aries hiccups during the emails from listening because now I do it while he's reading. That's funny. Anyway, enjoying the pod and Aries, loving the show clips you post on IG now. Also, waiting on you guys to hit the Charlotte area again and hope I can be off work when you do. Couple of titles. Rise in the Planet of the Gapes.
Yeah, it's
I
not
like
bad.
that.
It's not bad at all.
I just like Gapes. Starring James Spanks-Hose.
I like
Supposed to be
Spanks-Hose.
James Franco.
Yeah, that's good.
The Long Kiss Goodnight is Long Get 'Em Right. Starring Samuel L. Jackson.
I think we had a Jackson before.
I don't think so. Not Jackson.
Okay.
Also, never was much of a doc watcher, but thanks to you guys, I've been getting into it more. And if you guys haven't watched it, A Good Man food series is Spartacus on Stars. Gladiator series based on history, a little gory at times, but good. All right, next time, peace out, fellas. Bum, stickity, bum, bum. Hopefully no $10. Alan from North Carolina. P.S. Aries, give the Power series another shot. Book 4, Force with Tommy, and Book 3, Kanan's backstory are pretty good. If I were to watch any of them, I would probably watch the one with Tommy because that to me still I could relate to.
I knew that's what you were going
to
to.
Ghosts, but all the other ones, man, I don't think so. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since Andy described it as a soap opera, it put a little damper on my parade.
If you had just changed the music in some of those scenes where they walk in and you heard dun dun dun,
But they don't go dun dun dun.
but it is. They do it. You don't hear it. It's in the subtext. It feels like a soap opera.
I like the title of this one. Verb Turner, Andy Escobeard. I've been watching and listening to the pod for a minute now. You guys were so entertaining from the first time that I heard it that I was immediately sold. So I didn't really feel the need to go back too far and listen to previous episodes. One particular thing that is brought up from time to time is how Andy used to sell drugs. When I look at Andy, I'm like, yeah, right, okay. But recently I decided to go back and watch the Drink Champs interview you guys did a few years ago, and I just want to say sorry, Andy, for being a non-believer because you literally look like a fat drug transporter who flew one of those Cessna planes in the 70s. I can totally see it now. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, dude. I love when I love when I was on Drink Champs.
Wow.
That's my favorite look I've ever had.
That beard is totally 10 times more aggressive.
Yeah.
And the hair, wow.
That's the most homelessly I've ever looked.
Oh, my God.
I love when I go back and I look at that Drink Champs, I'm always so I love that look. And it's funny to me because I think it's hysterical. But Dude, that me on Drink Champs is like so funny. That is just like the funniest thing that's ever happened in this whole time I've been with you.
Right.
Being on Drink Champs, I think, is the funniest thing.
Wow, dude. Delicia. These are a few of my favorite things. Hi, Aries and Andy. Hope you guys are doing well. I started listening to the podcast in 2020. I listened Andy's way and thought it would be fun to share some of my favorite things / moments. When the $10 alada is so bad that Aries has to stop, take a breath, and gather himself. When Andy is trying to think of something and Aries gets excited to try and figure it out, saying, give me clues. And Andy says, I got nothing. Number 3, when something is so graphic and shocking and Aries says, Jesus, I always imagine him clutching his pearls. 4, when Andy is talking mid-sentence and a word he says will trigger Aries to break into song or character, and when he's finished, Andy will continue with what he was saying as if he was never interrupted. 5, the silence after a bad "Oh, Steve." As always, this is my favorite podcast. Thanks for the both of yous. P.S. You should all sell Give Me Clues t-shirts. Delicia. Thank you, baby. I would love to know what you look like, sweetie.
I like the idea of Give Me Clues t-shirts.
Yeah. But that's one of those where somebody would see it and go, what does that mean?
And I would go, exactly. No, that's funny. That's fun. I like that, the whole idea of that.
Right. Oh boy, Mookie. It's been a minute. What up, niggas? I'm gonna give it a try with the title New Jack Titties, starring Wesley Pipes and Alan Bring the Pain. Just hitting y'all up to let y'all know I'm still here, listening to everybody faithfully. Just been tied up with being a dad. My son, Nasir, just turned 2, November 26th. Oh, congratulations, brother. One more thing. Aries, you recently posted a clip of you making fun of a white dude you didn't realize was deaf. His people ain't You went in on him for 45 minutes before they told you he was deaf. And why the would they say sit that close? That's ridiculous. Keep up the good work, my niggas. I'm outie.
Dude, that is so funny.
Dude, I love when sometimes there are people that come to the show with problems.
Do people come to the show with problems? They want to laugh.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like either you deaf or the dude that comes in with the oxygen tank.
The blind dudes that sit up front.
Oh, the
still
blind dude
kills me the most.
That happened twice quickly. Matter of fact, that happened twice on a back-to-back weekend. You know, in
you had one.
DC, not DC. Was it DC? DC
Yes.
and then Indianapolis.
DC, you had a blind dude in the front row and then another blind dude in the second row behind him.
Oh, and the DC show.
Yeah.
Man,
one show.
That was weird.
If you have a bad seat at the show and you're sitting in the back of the room and there's some blind guys up front, aren't you a little angry?
Listen, I said to the blind dude in DC, I said, hey, my man, it don't really matter where you sit. Like, nigga, you blind. You can sit in the kitchen for these jokes. Like, as long as you can hear, it don't matter where you sit.
Sit in the kitchen, you get your food service much
you know what
faster.
I'm saying? Put a speaker in there, you could. Maybe why I've heard names. JY, actor/film renames. I can't put actors with the movies, but here are just some names. And obviously this is some porn names. I like this first one. Jurassic.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. This feels familiar a little bit because I think I'm gonna say the same thing I said before. Is it just dudes with obviously big, huge, or is it dudes dress up like dinosaurs?
I thought it was just like a giant. What is that big dinosaur? The
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, but it's just it almost looks like a giant. Just the head, but it's just a head on the top.
Right, but it's attached to a human.
No, it's just attached to that, and it's like you see like the head of a just eating the leaves.
I got it. It's a Jurassic old men with
Old
80-year-old Jurassic.
It's the Flintstones, but their shirts only go up to here, and they wear no underwear. So it's just old balls and
same thing.
Yeah.
It could be the same thing.
Yeah,
Jurassic cocks. Yeah. Dude,
And then the scene, remember when they first see the first dinosaur
Right.
and she's
Yeah.
like this with her mouth open?
Right. And welcome to Jurassic Cox.
You know, we didn't give the other one. The previous email though was
Mookie.
yeah, but what was his? He had one. Don't run away from his New Jack Titties.
Yeah.
I like that because that.
But I think that sounded familiar.
Yeah, but I don't know. But to me, that's like a woman who just gets brand new breasts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So and then she's going to go out and show them off. Or
That's
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
New
okay.
Jack titties.
Yeah.
New jacked titties. Yeah. Alien erection. Like alien resurrection.
Yeah, that's all right. It's hard to say.
All right. Samuel L. Jackum or Samuel L. Jackscom.
How about
I like Jackum.
How about Jack Sum? He's out there jacking.
Jacksum.
It's Jack's bunch of
How long before you come? It's gonna be a minute, Sam. Shh. And his face just fits being angry like that. He's double fisting two at once. How long y'all gonna take to come? It's gonna be a minute, Sam. Yeah. Denzel washing tits or Denzel watching tug? Washing tits.
I just don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Even if it's him washing tits?
Yeah, I don't know. There's
You
something
don't
about
like
it.
it?
Yeah.
All right. Omari Hard Dick. That felt too easy.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I'm trying to see. It's been a minute since we read from this brother. Les CW. Remember him?
Uh-uh.
Damn. Wow.
I don't remember it.
He said they're like, you got Alzheimer's. Les. You don't remember Les?
No.
All right. Happy New Year, my G's. Happy New Year. My name is Leslie.
Oh, wait, I do know who this dude. Okay.
Yeah, I used to send emails, but I've been
yeah.
busy trying to find a new job, a full-time job. I love that y'all keep succeeding. Please visit New York City. We will, May 18th at the Garden.
At the Hulu Center.
Hulu Theater. Aries show is discussed with Andy when Andy discussed charms for Crocs. LMAO. Yeah, LMAO. Hilarious, yo. I always listen, but I worry my email won't make it. I'll see y'all in New York City before the pandemic, and Aries entertained the crowd. Andy did the N-word joke. LMAO. I miss y'all. Salute from Brooklyn. What happened to Mookie? Happy New Year. Well, you just heard.
You're both back on.
You're both back on.
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm nervous about the Madison Square.
You're going to make me nervous.
Yeah, good.
Sheldon Marcotti.
'Cause some people don't play better when they're nervous, but I have a feeling about you.
Listen, I'm not nervous necessarily about the performance. I'm nervous about the attendance.
Yeah, I know, but that was from White Man Can't Jump anyway.
Oh, was it? What was the line?
I wasn't.
Some people play better when they're nervous. Oh, okay.
When they're angry, but it's angry,
Right.
actually. That's what he says.
Yeah, you hearing Jimmy, but you ain't listening. Patrice Burr, Gemma 23. Dear Aries and Annie, it's been a while since I've written in. I'm just proud of the growth of the show. The reason you guys have made it as far because of the dialogue between you two. You're like Charlemagne and Schultz with more sense. I'd love to see those two on Spears and Steinberg. I think you both would blow up YouTube with your dialogue. Plus, you were a guest on The Breakfast Club, so I know that it can happen. With me, dog, don't assume anything can happen. Also, Aries, I'm really glad that you're holding our people accountable when it's hard to. I just listened to this week's episode, and it reminded me of real time. You guys both actually represent real speech rather than the selective free speech. I only have a couple bones to pick with you, though. One, I heard on Vlad that you said you didn't find Charlie Murphy funny. Charlie Murphy that good at stand-up. Bruh, he taught Dave and Patrice to tie their shoes, basically. Nah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Where are you getting that? That he schooled them and taught them comedy? Out of here.
He might have taught him storytelling, but I don't think he's taught
Nah, dog. They got a lot from him. especially how he tweaked the Chappelle show. Again, the storytelling. And that probably had more to do with the writing of Neil Brennan and Dave. No. Especially, the thing Patrice didn't have was a famous brother to bail him out. I know you don't like the Nepos, but Charlie Murphy was that brother, rest in peace. You never did a podcast on the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. Chairman Hampton would have wanted your promotion. As you said to Vlad, turn in your man card. Turn in your daishiki until you do that episode. One of the best movies about our culture ever made.
We talked about it on.
I think we did. Yeah, we did. Lakeith Stanfield is today's John Turturro. I also love how you defend both MJ and Slim Shady's legacy. I was born in 93. Black folks were the only ones who embraced M first. Early in the 2000s, white folks didn't like him till later. Let me pause a second. Didn't it feel like they liked him out the gate? His first song was Hi, My Name Is, and they embraced him immediately off that song.
I think, though, it was a little different, and I think that until... I really do think until black voices came out in support, white dudes stood back a little bit. I really do think they did a little bit. I don't think that it was like no one liked him. I just think that they were waiting for... I think white people were waiting for a little black approval on that one. I'm going to be honest.
I don't think so.
I think they did.
Because listen, anytime a white dude does anything remotely as good as a black dude, white people can't wait to embrace him. So they can go, yeah, we can do that too. They can't wait. Yeah. And if he's really good, they'll even go, yeah, he's better than y'all.
I think rap has a little different vibe to it, where white people realize this isn't ours, and that we need to check her. This is the first time that I saw white people check themselves on something that wasn't theirs.
I don't know, Andy.
You don't think that white people check themselves?
No, because again, when you look at historically, Elvis Presley.
But we're not talking about Elvis. I'm talking about rap.
But there's a through line through all of it. Whether it's rap, whether it's basketball, a la Larry Bird, or whether it's rock and roll, there's a through line. And the through line being, we know, me and you, because we've discussed it, and the true historians know that Elvis Presley's influences were Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
What's my man's name? The guitarist, the famous guitarist. Not in that era. The guitarist.
Yeah, Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. So we know that Elvis gives them credit, but more white folks will call Elvis the king of rock and roll when he wasn't the king.
He is the king of rock and roll because we're going by sales.
I know, but they give him that credit
of starting it. I don't think today white people would go, Elvis Presley started rock and roll. We know that they don't. I think most people know that he didn't start rock and roll.
This feels like, again, me, you, and Godfrey. You say that. And that's the point. That's the same point you made when you go, most people, and we both yelled at you and go, Andy, most people aren't you. Most white people are not you. They love to give Elvis that moniker because it makes them go, yeah, rock and roll is our thing. Because our king was white Elvis. When Larry Bird was playing basketball, there were white dudes, especially in some of the documentaries, that would go, the best basketball player is white, especially when he won a couple of MVPs.
He was one of the best basketball players.
Absolutely. But there were white guys that would say because Bird was white and they were white, and especially as Bostonians, he's the best thing ever.
Dude, because that's the last chance for them to get some.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm sure that there were a lot of white people that couldn't wait to jump on the Eminem train because they went, here's a white guy that does it just as well, if not better.
Yeah, but I think that the time period had changed where we knew. I don't think that there's one white person that was going, hey, this rap stuff really should be ours. I think that they disowned rap in the first place. There was a lot of white people who were just against rap in the first place, so having a white rapper wasn't as big of a deal. I think that white people that really respected rap music stood back and were waiting a little bit. I do think that really happened because I know back in the day, when you would go out and you go to a white dude, who's your top favorite rappers? I very rarely heard Eminem in it, but I heard black people put Eminem in it, and I think that that's because there was this boundary. That white people finally picked up a boundary and went, wait, maybe we should listen. Maybe we should listen a little bit here.
But even when you sit back and wait, like before Eminem, again, not counting Vanilla Ice because I think that was a joke. But when you look at the Beastie Boys, when you look at Third Base with MC Search.
Yeah. Beastie Boys, I'll give you that one.
But even then, the Beastie Boys, to me, of course, the famous song "Fight for Your Right to Party."
It's a rock song.
I know, but it felt like the Beastie Boys, the more they did, became more rockish than rap. So my point is this, and Third Base, while they were always deeply rooted in strong street hip hop, I don't think they had the respect of the white community the way M did. So when they sat back and waited, they went, okay, we had the Beastie Boys, I guess we had Third Base, but Eminem's the first one to come along to really legitimately be a white dude who is hardcore hip hop.
I would say that there was a lot of people who finally felt like they did. It wasn't a rock. It wasn't rock. But see, Eminem's first album, I'm Slim Shady. I'm the real Slim. That was That wasn't like technically that was rap, but it wasn't what we knew as. There was a little white dude rap to it. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, well, I mean,
not for the first song, because that first song was released for white people, I think.
But when you're talking about offing your mom and putting 9-inch nails
that's
in your eyelids,
that's
that white.
Yeah.
But later, his was so legitimately hip hop.
I know, but that first thing, I think the people stood back a little bit and said, "Wait a minute, let's see,"
right.
Because he did get credibility because he came from the lineage of real rap. The people who produced him, people brought him up.
I think we'll agree to disagree because I'm telling you, when Slim Shady came out, white people went nuts.
Okay, I'm going to give you this because I want to say this. I was in music at the time. I was producing shows.
Right.
I was doing a lot of stuff. So people that were in the industry kind of went, is this going to be for real? Now, we didn't know him because he's, I'm in Arizona. He's Michigan. And I didn't know everything that he had been through. Mm-hmm. So when that first thing hit, it's a little funny. He has a funny video that goes with it. Mm-hmm. It's not what we're used to seeing in.
Right.
So we took a little pause. The people that were kind of connected to music and to hip hop, white dudes especially, because we're still the outsider in hip hop. So we took a little pause. But maybe the general public, I'll see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And maybe I do have to consider that all the time, that I'm not part of the general public a lot of times, in my opinion, in the way that I think. But yeah, the white guys that I was around, we took a little bit of a pause. And I had black people that go, no, man. I had black people telling me, no, man, he's the real deal.
And remember this, and this is why I say wholeheartedly, you're not like most of the white people, because I don't think half as many white people out there watch the documentaries that you have watched.
I don't know what people watch. I really don't.
Listen, you tell me yes or no if you've seen them. I'm Not Your Negro.
Yes.
Stand From the Beginning.
Yes. Of course.
I forget the one we watched by that one dude, but
yes, and yes.
Yeah, okay. White folks ain't watching them.
You gotta know. You gotta know.
But white folks ain't watching them like that.
This is the problem, and this is why I have arguments on both sides of this fence here all the time. I am not watching it because I want to learn black history. I'm watching it because I want to learn American history. This is American history.
But you always say that black history is American history.
Exactly. I'm not trying to learn black history, though. I'm trying to learn American history. I'm not separating the two. They are this one and the same. So I'm trying to learn my American history. So when I have a talk with another American, I'm talking about American history.
You don't watch it for no other reason other than that?
I want to be smarter than just knowing what I was taught in school, because I realized what I was taught in school was not real.
Well, I was hoping you were watching it so that your level of guilt will allow you to buy me free lunches.
Nah, man, I don't have a level of guilt. I don't have it. I don't have that. But I think though I do have to take a little that, because I didn't have to, but black dudes would have to convince me that Eminem was the real deal back in the beginning. I had black dudes telling me, "Nah, that's a real deal, dude." And I go, "Yeah, but this," and then they go, "Nah, but listen to the rhymes, listen what he's doing." And I would go back to the first album and go, "But that's the launch,
right.
The launch is different than actual what it is." The Beastie Boys, I liked you, but I knew right away that's a rock band that are also rapping. But they were part of it's a different genre. That's part of Def Jam, and the idea that was who was that? That was LL Cool J, and that was
Run DMC.
Run DMC, and that was the Beastie Boys. That was the trinity that was launching rap to the American public through Def Jam.
But I also will say, based on that time period, that whole rap/rock thing was doable. Today, it's either going to be are you rap or are you rock? To somehow be both, I don't think would fly.
Only the Beastie Boys would still be allowed to do that.
But they've already established themselves.
That's why they would be allowed to have that, because
remember, Fred Durst at one point was halfway doing that.
Yeah, but
Kid Rock started out doing that.
Yeah, and Kid Rock was probably at that first album was closest to the combo that you could get.
Right.
But then he went into like a country genre.
He turned into a real white guy. Yeah. Early in the 2000s, white folks didn't like him. He's been loyal to Dr. Dre for 25 years.
That's the big deal right there.
He's helped so many black talent. He turned Anthony Mackie into a star with 8 Mile. He put his homies on D12 and Obi Trice on. He gave 50, The Game, Young Buck, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, and Yayo and Lloyd Banks careers. Inspired Nick Cannon to do Wild and Out. Nick has put him in his top 5 MCs, created Shade 45, which has 95% black staff, a la Sway in the Mornings, etc. He took a knee at the Super Bowl. He got a Secret Service visit from both W. Bush and Trump. He stood up to Suge Knight after one of his goons tried to off him at a show. I could go like you could with MJ. You ever meet Slim? My only beef with MJ is he could have helped Craig Hodges' career when he got blackballed after the White House visit. That's one of the reasons some black folks hate him. They feel he snubs the community and only uses us for money to buy sneakers. I happen to think he's a very good representative of our community, good role model. Anyway, bro, I have a question for you and Andy. Would you either have to eat Whoopi Goldberg's or Kathy Bates without a condom? I'm not talking about how they look back in the day either. Present day, both of you and Andy have to answer. Always peace, y'all, from Shelly. P.S. Listen to Nas and Eminem's song EPMD2. Also, T.I. is up there with Big M, J, and Nas. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He may be an articulate, cool, and he's a lyrical animal, especially when he first started. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I remember somebody on Instagram put up a picture of a young Whoopi Goldberg, and the caption was, "Whoopi was always pretty. We just let society tell us she wasn't." And listen, a young Whoopi,
she was cute when she was doing that,
like Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Yeah,
Whoopi.
that's at the same time when they were doing the which we didn't say with Robin Williams when they were doing the thing for the homeless.
What was it called?
Comic Relief.
Now, I'm just saying my personal taste. On a scale of 1 to 10, do I think she's a 10? No, but in her younger years, I'd give her about
a cute
6.5.
She was cute.
She was cute.
But he said always cute. She's always been.
Well, he said what? Did he say eat Whoopi? Eat one or Kathy Bates without a condom? I'm always go for I want to fuck, dude. You know what I mean? And condomless is always. So
I can answer this one easily. Easily.
Okay. Kathy Bates?
I'm going to set it up, though. Listen, this is what's important to me. I don't know what I'm going to get from either one. I'm not judging them by their looks, their body, their face.
Right.
All right? But here's what I do know. If I'm you, I can always turn my head if it's bad.
Right.
Can't turn your head when you're in that. You can.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
So when it's unknown, I'm gonna go with we're gonna it.
But before we get off, I'm not saying that I don't like M. I didn't say that I didn't think that he is a talent or that he was any of that. I'm just saying at that beginning, in the infancy of what was going on, the development of where we were in music, what hip hop was. And hip hop was very different for me because when I say hip hop, I'm not talking about rap. I come from the generation of hip hop, which is different than just rap music. So take that any way you want to, but he came after that, and I wasn't sure. I sat back a little bit. I had people tell me things. I listened. I knew that it came from Dr. Dre. I knew what that meant to me, and so that carried weight. But I took a pause. I waited. I didn't just run out there and go, "Wait, the white Messiah rapper is here."
Right. Okay. Dominique.
And I don't think a lot of white dudes even knew who third base were, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I think
third base was still that was locked. That was still a city groove. That was a New York sound.
Right.
New York rappers knew third base.
Yeah. Dominique Davis, Eddie versus Denzel. Yo, A in the AM, PM. If you're nasty, once again, it's your boy Dom, the intelligent Mississippi. It reads. I have a question concerning why Eddie isn't in the top 5 actors list. Not coming at y'all's list because your list is your list, but for the sake of conversation, I'd like to hear your perspective on this thought. A thespian or actor is someone who can convey the portrayal of any character. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. The reason why I state this is because Eddie embodies that definition. Marcus Graham is nothing like Axel Foley. Axel Foley is nothing like Sherman Klump. And might I add, in that movie, none of the characters he portrayed in The Nutty Professor were alike. But you get my drift. Denzel, on the other hand, kind of plays the same character. And I hate when people say this. The same characters in his movies. Either he is smooth, suave, talking, or he is a badass with quotables. I'm not coming at Denzel in no shape, form, or fashion because in my mind, that's my favorite uncle that I only get to see on Thanksgiving and Christmas. But under the circumstances of what an actor is, why is Eddie not considered, in your opinion, a top 5 actor? P.S. I wish I could say more, but it has to do and little time to do it. I hope you both can get the gist of what I'm saying. As always, stay dropping that pure, uncut cocaine for the streets. Peace and love. Because Eddie's a comedian.
And he's a comedic actor.
But I'm sorry, we just said it about Robin Williams. Robin Williams has a slew of dramas. Jim Carrey has done dramas. Even Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems, and I forget Spanglish, he did with Selma Hayek. He has dramas.
But I don't even put Adam Sandler in that category.
You don't?
No.
Not after Uncut Gems?
No, because then I would have to, what was Dreamgirls, I'd have to put Eddie Murphy in.
But what I'm saying with Eddie Murphy is, other than Dreamgirls, can you name a slew of serious movies?
Boomerang attempted to be semi-serious.
Nah, not even the least bit. That was a romantic comedy.
A romantic comedy, but still, it had some. He had to be a real character in that. He couldn't just play off the wall funny. He couldn't make
it was a romantic comedy. It was a different style, but it was a comedy nonetheless.
Yeah, but I don't see Eddie Murphy other than Dreamgirls really being the one.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, he did that late in his career, and if he wants to do some more of those, we would. I would say that that's a possibility. But just because you do a dramatic role, I mean, I get it. But Jim Carrey, to me, even Jim Carrey, who has done some dramatic roles, I see him as an actor. But is he one of my favorite actors? And when you say that about,
I wouldn't put him or Robin Williams in the top 10.
I might put Robin Williams up there because he's done some films that I really like. But let's go back to what you said, Denzel, about being the same place.
Smooth, suave.
To be a good actor, you take yourself and you put it into the character that you're playing. So that's a lot. That's who he is. That's who Denzel is. When we look at Al Pacino is Al Pacino, but he gets into the body. When Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday, and that's his biggest hurrahs and his like. Right. But there's a character that's there that's built around that over-the-top character that Al Pacino is playing in there. It's a football coach.
I wouldn't even say over the top because who better to play a football coach when you think about how football coaches are?
Okay.
He's perfect.
So, but he is. You see Al Pacino all over the footprint, the fingerprint of Al Pacino's there of who he is. But he embodies that character. That's what Denzel does. That's what Robert De Niro does. And Robert De Niro, this is where he doesn't get enough credit, even when we talk about his comedies. He took that character that he is, and he put that same guy into the comedies. Because if you think about it, there's no difference between really. Well, there is a difference, but acting wise. What's he playing? The comedic gangster when he's
Analyze this and analyze that.
and that's the same character that's in where he's playing the family.
Meet the Fockers.
That's the same guy. It's a different take on the same guy, but he's still a hard ass. He's still somebody who portrays this. There's a different part of his personality that he's allowed to let out because one's a CIA agent, one's is a gangster. You take who you are and you find the thread that goes through for the character.
Did you see any of that in Dirty Grandpa?
Dirty Grandpa is a comedy. That's like that's again where you're just being. Yeah, there is.
Analyze this and that are comedies.
Yeah, they're comedies.
Meet the Fockers are comedies.
But he brings out a real character in it. And yeah, I guess in Dirty Grandpa, at the end, you really do get the character because he played that Dirty Grandpa to get him to stop being his dad. He wanted him to follow his dreams, be the photographer, and he really went out of it. But there's a lot of silliness on the way there. I analyze this and analyze that. There's silliness, but not in the same way as Dirty Grandpa. He's up on stage flexing and doing, throwing beers at.
Well, there's different comedic beats. In Dirty Grandpa, whereas with Analyze This, the only note is he's an Italian mobster who's funny.
Funny.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, actors have to be who they are. They find the character.
Now let me defend my Michael Jordan of acting, because this gets in my craw when people go, he's the same smooth. Look at the range. Whether it's a civil rights leader and Malcolm X, well, nothing smooth about that. Now, if you want to somehow say, well, what made him smooth? He played Malcolm X. Was Malcolm X a smooth, sexy dude? I don't know. But in terms of that strength and that backbone and that delivery,
there's a coolness
and
to the
that
character.
dominance. Okay, there's that. Then you have John Q. When I went to the theater, there wasn't a dry eye in the theater, especially from men. And he's playing this loving, devoted, willing to die for my son father. And if Denzel don't know how to do nothing else, he knows how to suck drama, emotion out of you. Now let's look at Frank Lucas, another biopic, this gangster drug dealer. Now look at his performance in Training Day, a crooked, dirty cop. Now look at his performance as an alcoholic, a person with a substance abuse problem in Flight. Now look at, and this is the real separator. He did Macbeth. He did Much Ado About Nothing. That is Shakespeare. What are you talking about?
There's a movie there that you missed that I think really shows, that takes all that and breaks that range down. Fences. He's the most broken
Fences.
character. He's a broken person.
Fences.
So the coolness is gone because he's broken. He drinks. He's broken. He has a son that he built that man, but he knows that he wasn't there for him the way that he should have been, and unapologetic about it. I'm telling you, man, that character, that one that he brought out, that is so separate from everything else that he's ever done, and he portrays that character to a T. And you don't lose any Denzel. There's still Denzel in it that's supposed to be there. But, man, that is a character switch from everything.
Stephen Biko, Cry Freedom. What? No. Y'all put that label on him because for the better part of his career, up until about now, he's been this sexy, suave ass. So they put that label on him. But the man got chops, yo. You know who else has that label put on him? George Clooney. George Clooney got chops, man.
Yeah, what he played in, that's the movie I guess he got hurt in too, when he played, what is Syriana or something like that?
Yeah.
That movie was a departure.
Brother, where art thou?
Oh, no, that was a comic, but weird. And to play that that's the Farley brothers too, right? That was a tough. It was good. Yeah. Dapper Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. No, Denzel got chops, man, and range.
I think it's unfortunate that some people, though, their charisma and the person that they are does come through. And, you know, I hold that against Al Pacino sometimes because you got to hold that back a little bit sometimes so that the character shines.
And now Al is more of a caricature of himself.
But you do have to hold that back
Right.
sometimes because you need the character to come forward. But it's hard. Like, I think Al Pacino can't really do that much anymore. I do see where some people say that about Denzel because Denzel was picked for these characters because he has a certain sensibility about him. But you got to pull that back. But like when I saw Fences, and I went, man, where did the cool guy go? Where is this guy? Even when we go and you go to Training Day, it's a different kind of coolness. He's a badass. So it's still there. But Fences, to me, when I saw that, that's when it changed for me. When I went, okay, I got to recognize everything that he did, and I got to look at the details of what his character are. The character arc is tough, and I think when you become that good of an actor, they're paying you for that. And so you it's hard to dial that back and bring that forward. And then if it is big, it shines. And I'm sorry, but some people just have that. And Denzel's one of them. Al Pacino's one of them. There's plenty of others.
You know, some people downplay your skill level because you're so, in terms of a presence, a pretty boy, or you're handsome. You know, they try to say that a little bit about Brad Pitt. Yo, 12 Monkeys? 7? Are you kidding me? Pitt got the chops, yo.
Dude, from his early movie, and I know you probably still haven't seen this, but a river runs through it. Fucking beautiful.
I've
movie.
never seen A River Runs Through It, but I'll give you one that's old in terms of his youth, where he smokes it. California.
Yeah, that's
with
good.
David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's also a little creepy, weird movie.
Yeah, where he plays like a inbred, you know, psychopath.
Yeah, people. Yeah, but they're paying people to bring that part of their suaveness to the screen. So sometimes it gets a little lost in the sauce for some people, but you got to look for the character.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, no Michael Jordan, Denzel slander is tolerated here.
Oh, I'm going to start bringing up some things about Denzel now, just to make you mad.
Before I get off the hip-hop thing, sometimes I envision that I've told you things on the pod that I don't think I've told you, but it felt like I did. I told you the Kodak Black drink champs thing, right? How he pronounced champagne. Dude, this nigga, and this is another reason why I don't like this youth of today. This nigga was on Drink Champs. And, you know, we've been on Drink Champs, and it's called Drink Champs. So at one point, Noriega goes, hey, man, let's pop open some champagne. Kodak, you want some champagne? That said, and this the same nigga that says orange. So he goes, nah, man, I don't want no champagne. Champagne.
It does look a little champagne though when you read it.
That's like if you took a ghetto to a restaurant, she goes, yeah, I want the shit take mushrooms.
Well, what was that line? What was that movie where she, the chick from Saved by the Bell, Versace. Let's go.
Versace instead of Versace?
Yeah. I want that Versace.
Yeah.
You know what? This is the other thing, people, man. Don't educate people unless you like them.
Let them stay dumb?
Let them save the next person. They gave you insight to why you don't need them in your life. Let them have that so that the next person, you may educate them enough that they're going to fool the next person. You just over the next person. Let them take that with them. Give someone else a fair shot. You got a fair shot to get away from it.
TB, Mama's Boy, how the worst thing in the world on the Juicy Sack episode. Hey, Spears and Steinberg, I love the show. This is my first time emailing you. Anyway, Andy Steinberg is wrong and Ari Spears is right about Mama's Boy. Because if a grown man has no life, no social life, no job, no wife, no kids, is not going to college, is not traveling to see the world, he's not being on his own with his life. Instead, still living with his mama, he always does the gimme, gimme, gimme. buy me this, buy me that. At the age of 30, 40s, and 50s, that turns women off, by the way. I know a friend named Bob. He's 49, who's dating a 49-year-old lady, but she has a 30-year-old son still living with her. He told me on the phone years ago that his girlfriend was sick and he was about to drive her to the hospital. However, her son drove her mom to the hospital first. My friend and her son both got into a heated argument about who should drive her to the hospital first. My friend drove his car and went to the hospital, also waiting for her. And here is something else. His girlfriend lost her job, and she was sad about it, but he was there for her. He told me that he wiped away her tears and massaged her body. He told me that her son was knocking on the door, telling him, wait, I read this, right?
I don't know.
Telling him that's my job.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did read this. Yeah. All right. I did read this. All right, let me read one more, and then we got to get out of here.
We got a show.
Yeah. I might as well. Let me see. Where was it? Tears in a bathtub.
He already has his tickets.
Already has his tickets. Enough is enough. What's good, A&A? Writing to let you both know that Andy is right in his assessment that we ought to see perspective in order to get a definite understanding of the bigger picture. For example, folks were attacking Aries in his comments because of his stance and his perspective regarding the Katt interview. Aries, I fully supported and understood your perspective, especially the ending. It's about growth. We have bigger concerns to fry. Majority of the comments were negative because they have failed to see Aries' perspective. These are the same ones that want to be fans/supporters of his, but then will turn their back on him. It doesn't work like that. It's about how you carry yourself. Character speaks volumes. Enough of the hate against my brother Aries. In the same breath, stop hating on Andy too. Deion Cole said it best. Get a comedian's love. You mean give the comedians love. The all-white yacht party will only sustain and have room for the day ones. I said what I said. One more thing. Watch this documentary entitled Sound of Freedom, based on a true story. It's got a lot of controversy. Streaming on Prime Video or Apple TV. Hopefully you guys review it on the pod. Love and peace, my partners. For the yacht party, I'm going to have a special tub that hangs on the side of the boat so that while we on the yacht, you can be in the tub in the water. And every now and then we'll look over the boat rail and go, Kush, you all right? And you'll go, yeah. And now cue the boatmaster to go, woo, on the horn.
Yeah, you should stop hating on Aries, but I don't mind a little hate. It doesn't affect me that way.
Dude, let me tell you something.
I kind of like when people get a little worked up.
The funniest thing to me, and when people slide into my Instagram or my DMs and say this to me, yeah, yo, we ain't forgot about that little skit you did. We ain't forgot. Again, suck my and get over yourself. What do you think that you not forgetting does to me? You not forgetting, you keep remembering. When people say to me, yo, we ain't forgot, what does that mean to me? My life is not moving forward. Because you haven't forgotten, I can't make money. I can't work on the road. I can't hustle merch. My life is ceasing to exist because you are remembering. Keep remembering. See how that works for you. We ain't forgot you.
I hope they remember all the other things that happened at that time. Fucking people.
People swear they have. Again, this is why I went on that rant. This device here makes people think they have power now. Like, what do you think that you're stopping by you remembering? Like somehow you remembering is stopping all my other fans.
You've been playing with that pizza for hours, man.
Because I've been wanting to throw it out. Okay, that's it.
Is that a show?
That is a show.
All right, here, let's give these dates. First of all,
you know what we calling this one?
what are we calling this one?
We ain't forgot.
Okay. Let's do this, guys. Here's the dates, real quick. First of all, May 18th,
Aries, tell them about it.
The fucking New York.
Yeah, New York.
New York.
Let's
Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden.
Let's keep promoting that one. All right, coming back, guys, we're going to be February 15th through the 18th. We're at the Helium in Buffalo, New York. February 23rd to the 24th, we're at Funny Bone in Albany. March 9th, Holland Civic Center in Holland, Michigan. March 15th through the 16th, we're at the Cincinnati Funny Bone in Liberty Township. March 22nd to the 23rd, we're at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach. March 29th through the 31st, we're at the Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio. April 5th, the Parker at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. April 11th, it's the beginning of our Canadian swing. We're going to be River Cree in Enoch, Alberta, Canada. April 12th, Grey Eagle in Calgary. April 13th to the 14th, back home in New York, Syracuse, Funny Bone, April 13th to the 14th. April 15th, Dartforth Music in Toronto. April 19th to the 21st, we're back in Cleveland, Improv. Aries, do you need anything? April 27th, we're at Bronson Center in Ottawa. April 28th, Olympia, Montreal, Quebec. April 30th, we're at Bellarose in Halifax, Nova Scotia. May 2nd through the 5th, we're back in the States, Helium, Portland, Oregon. May 9th, Meyer Theater in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And May 11th, at the Wilbur in Boston.
Wicked Kid.
That's the show. We got another show we got to go do right now. Guys, till next week.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.